Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Trish Hemingway, Director of Product Program for Girl Scouts of West Central Florida. And with me today, we have Esther Rivera and Jessica Hadley. We're going to give everybody about 30 seconds to log in. So go ahead and just give us a second. We'll get logged in there. Close a few things out so my computer doesn't keep beeping in the middle. So just as a little bit of a housekeeping rule, if you have questions you want to ask, you want to go ahead and type them in your questions or chat box. If you don't see that, you'll need to go ahead and open the app on your phone or on your computer with the little red arrow. You should find a questions or chat box. You can type those in. Esther will help facilitate those questions once we finish our presentation. So today we're going to cover how to read the troop sales report. So you know exactly what your troop proceeds are, how many cookies you have, all of everything that's due to the council, you'll be able to see it all. So the first thing I'm going to cover with you is how to find the troop sales report. We're going to go over each section of the troop sales report in detail, and then we're going to show you where to find that in the this presentation will be posted, but also we have a sample of the troop sales report broken out for you, uploaded in the eBuddy Help Center. So let's go ahead and cover how do I find my troop sales report. All right, so you log into eBuddy, and from your dashboard, if you scroll all the way over to the right-hand side, you see this little tab that says Sales Report. You're going to click that, and it's going to bring up your troop sales report. Okay. This is your complete sales report up until that time that you clicked the sales report button, okay? So let's cover for you, I'm gonna go ahead and bring up a couple samples of one here. So what I'm gonna cover for you right now is how do you read your troop sales report. So I'm gonna make this a little bigger so hopefully everybody can see it. So let's cover the top section of the troop sales report. On the left-hand side, you see your contact information, your contact, and your other people that are listed within the eBuddy for your troop. Over on the right-hand side, you're going to see the number of girls selling, number of girls registered. Now, the number of girls selling means you've actually given them credit for at least one box of cookies. That's how that number changes. The number of girls registered is the number of girls we've uploaded into your troop at that time. It also provides you with the level of your troop. So Daisy Brownie Jr., if you're a mixed level, it's going to say group. It's going to show you your service unit name. And then the next thing down you'll see is where it says sales goal. That's where you've entered your sales goal into eBuddy. Remember, that's one of those requirements for the troop bonus. So if you have not yet entered your sales goal into eBuddy, you're going to want to go ahead and get that done. The next box down that you see on your screen now that it's actually highlighted in blue, outlined in blue, is your per girl average for selling girls. This is what affects your troop proceeds. The next section down says PGA registered. We do not, the per girl average registered has no play in anything we do in cookies. It's only the per girl average for selling girls. And as you give credit to girls, this number changes. Okay. The very last thing you're going to see in that particular section where it says HTH packages, this just gives you a quick glance of how many Hometown Hero cookies you have, okay? So now let's cover this next section. I'm going to scroll up a little bit on my screen to bring it to the top. The section that's highlighted in yellow, this is your proceeds and how the proceeds are calculated. Again, remember that's calculated based on the per girl average selling girls, okay? So what you see here on the left-hand side where it says cookie, these are our core cookies. Our 6 core flavors are listed in this first left-hand side section. You see the price per package, so we know we're talking about the $5 cookies. It's gonna show you how many packages of those you have in your troop. Then it's going to say troop proceeds rate at 82 cents. That is the base proceed. Everybody gets the base proceed of 82 cents. And what we're talking about right now is a troop who has rewards, right? So we're not talking about an opt-out troop. If you're an opt-out troop, I'm going to show you this next section later. Underneath where it says troop proceeds rate of 82 cents, it's going to say tiered rate. And if you have something in there, if it doesn't say 0, in this particular case, this troop has a 5-cent tier proceed rate. And that's based on the Pergo average selling average, right? So it can say 2 cents or it can say 5 cents. In this troop's case, they have the highest Pergo average, so they have the highest tiered proceed rate of 5 cents. So if you calculate that, I'm going to scroll up just a little bit so you can see. Oh, I need to make this smaller, right? So you can see it. Okay. So in this top section here, it says packages sold 2,202. If you multiply that by the 82 cents, and you see that there at the bottom of the screen, if you multiply that by the 82 cents, that gives us a troop proceed of $1,805.64. Okay, and I apologize. I don't know. I'm on a PDF document, so this thing pulled up. And then if you take that same 2,202 packages and multiply it by the 5 cent tiered proceed rate, that gives us $110.10. You add those two numbers together, excuse me, it gives us our total troop proceed of $2,103.66, which you see here highlighted in this yellow box. This is troop proceed, right? So you take those two together, the one that says troop proceed rate plus the tiered rate, add those two together to give you those troop proceeds. So keep in mind that on the specialty side, it's doing the same thing. The specialty cookies are selling for $6. We have 216 packages in there. We have our base proceed rate at 82 cents plus our tiered rate of 5 cents. So when you add those together, we get our total true proceed. So the next section down, it gives you a breakdown of every cookie that you brought into your troop, you transferred out of your troop. It also gives you a complete breakdown of all of the payments that have been credited to your troop. So on the left-hand side, you see where it says packages received, right? So it shows us our initial order of 1,776 packages of cookies. We've picked up an order from a cupboard for 774 packages of cookies. We've transferred out 2 different times to 2 different troops where it says T and then the 5-digit troop number. That means we transferred out. So we've transferred out 6 boxes one time and 96 boxes the next time. Now in this troop, we've not had any gift of caring cookies at this moment, so I'm not showing any gift of caring cookies here. So it gives us our total boxes, 2,418. Okay. And if you add the total packages up in the top for these 2 sections where it shows you the troop proceed, those 2 numbers will match your total packages. Okay, so everything matches in several different places on the troop sales report. And then under payments made, you're going to see this particular troop had 2 digital cookie payments for girl delivery cookies, and they've had 1 ACH sweep, which happened last week, right? And those payments are a little delayed getting into eBuddy because we have to verify from the bank that the payments went through before we can add them into eBuddy. Okay. Then also breaks down our total payments. It also shows how much digital cookie payments have come in. So now in this last section here, it shows up our total troop sales, subtracting the total proceeds for the troop. Gives us what the council proceeds are, which carries over into this next section with the council proceeds, the total payments made, and then the amount that's still due to the council. So now let's cover if you're an opt-out troop. So your troop is an older girl troop, juniors or above, and you've opted out of proceeds, or opted out of rewards, not proceeds. You all want the proceeds. You've opted out of rewards. You guys all understood what I meant. It's been a long season. Okay. So the only difference between what you will see as an opt-out troop versus what you're going to see as a non-opt-out troop is this section right here under cookies where it says no reward proceeds. It's going to show that additional 5 cents a box. And all of that is calculated into the total troop proceeds, right? So your base proceed is 87 cents, not 82 cents. Then we have the tiered proceeds. In this particular troop, they have a tiered proceed of 2 cents because their Pergo average doesn't meet the maximum number. So that's the only difference between an opt-out troop and a non-opt-out troop is it shows the no reward proceed of 5 cents. Now, if you're a Juliet on, or you're an outreach group, your sales report looks slightly different than everybody else's, because when I shift over to the Juliet one, and this is the same for Juliet and outreach, yours will read the same. Okay, down here where it says troop proceeds is going to say 0 because you don't actually earn the troop proceeds through here. Juliet's, you earn council credits. In your outreach groups, your proceeds are calculated on the back end, so your total troop sales must equal payments made. It basically is what that means for you as an outreach group. And the same for Juliet, total troop sales should equal payments made. And in Juliet's, you see your digital cookie payments made and then your deposits that you're making into the council. So again, the sales reports look like they're very daunting to understand, but they're really not when you break it down by section. So what I want to show you next is in the eBuddy Help Center. Where do you find that information? So if you go into the eBuddy Help Center and you click the little arrow next to From the Council, Jess is telling me where to find it. Hold on. She's coming over and she's gonna click me on the right button. Is it here?
Sales reports and proceeds.
Sales reports and proceeds. Thank you. She just uploaded it, so everybody's probably on the phone laughing at me like, I don't know what I'm talking about. And that is true at the moment because it's there. So if you're going to go from the council, sales report and proceeds. So top section is the proceeds. And then she put in here very detailed section, very detailed sales report that breaks down by section with notes of what each thing means. Okay. So if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in, and Esther's going to go ahead and help us facilitate those questions.
Okay, so the first question. Can troops still opt out of rewards, or was that only before the initial order?
You can still opt out of rewards if you wish, but please make sure that it was an agreement by all of the girls in the troop and that every girl in the troop is juniors or above. And you can do that under the settings tab. So let me show you real quick. If you weren't sure, let's get that out of the way real quick. So if you go into your eBuddy under settings, you'll click edit settings, and then right here, opt out of rewards for additional proceeds, you'll check that box and then scroll down to the bottom and click update.
And also show her where to enter the sales goals.
Also, the same place, settings. Click edit. And right here, troop goal and packages, you would enter it right there under the settings tab.
Okay. So next question. Our troop is an outreach troop with a combination of 3 schools. Is there any way to pull report to only see the school I manage?
No. So if you're an outreach group and you have questions about that, please contact your outreach manager. But that is not a possibility.
Okay. That's it for question stuff right now.
So if you have more questions, go ahead and type them in the questions or chat box. We're going to stay on for a few more minutes because that one took a little bit longer than our normal one would. But I'm going to stay on a few more minutes. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up this sales report one more time so you can look at it. And again, this is a reminder, your proceeds are based on the per girl selling average, not the per girl registered average, right? And in eBuddy, you can find your troop sales report by logging into eBuddy and clicking the sales report tab. And everything we just showed you will show up there under your troop sales report. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions, you're free to log off. If you have some, we're going to stay on for another 5 minutes or so to answer any questions that you have. As a reminder, the ACH sweeps, if you are a troop, will happen next week. The emails will go out later today with the amount that's due.
Michelle also asked, she says, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Michelle.
So we should make sure our girls' sales are updated before we have a final sales report.
You should absolutely make sure your girl sales are updated. I would suggest that you're updating your girl sales weekly. We have a lot of troops out there right now that have not given credit to girls. So when we're looking at their proceeds, it's at a base rate of 82 cents. But then when we go to pull the ACH, it's basing it off the 82 cents proceeds. So give your girls credit. Don't hold them to the end of the season. That way you'll have an idea of what each girl is owing before the end of the season. And you are locked out of eBuddy on March 13th. So all of your updating has to be done by March 13th to include giving girls credit for cookies, choosing rewards, which we're going to go over next week during the cookie chat next week, is how to do all of that. Jessica and Esther will go over that with you in detail next week. But I would recommend you're updating eBuddy as you're giving cookies out. You should be updating eBuddy.
She said, got it. I'll do it right away.
You are. Again, we just have a lot of troops because we periodically glance at troops and we see a lot of troops who aren't updating eBuddy. You're not the only one, so.
Okay, we got, if we're crediting girls based on hours worked for each weekend and total cookie sales, is there a way to do that versus crediting girls per booth?
No, I have always recommended that we are not crediting girls by the number of hours they worked. Girls should be credited by the total number of cookies sold at that booth, divided evenly amongst the girls who are working that booth. There's no way in eBuddy to do so many were sold per hour. That's not an allocation that the system will allow you to do. If you do it that way, you're going to have to do it on your own back-end paperwork and then manually edit it in the system instead of doing it by recording eBuddy booth sales. So again, I never recommend by number of hours worked. It should be divided evenly. Okay.
No questions right now?
Okay. All right, so we're going to still hang out. There's about 12 of you left on the line. So if you have any questions, go ahead and get them typed in. If not, you guys have a great day, and we're going to see you for next week's cookie chat on closing out the cookie program. Yeah, we're getting that close. We're getting ready to learn how to close out the cookie program. We're that close. So again, just a few of you left. We're going to stay on for a few more minutes. And if we don't talk to you before next week, we will see you guys next week. All right, looks like everybody's dropping fast and curious now, so we're going to close out. We'll see you guys during the next week's cooking chat. Have a great day.
Bye.